Evening, folks. It's time for another Free-to-Play Friday. Tonight, I have Rob with me
Hello.
and Eli.
Hello.
So, what is this you're seeing on your screen? Well, this is this week's game. It is High Octane Drift. I can tell you this much. I played the tutorial just to get prepared for the show. These cars drift. They drift a lot. They are not kidding when they say it is a drifting game. And I guess we'll start off with initial impressions. We aren't going to go too in depth, but what would you have to say about the tutorial, at least, Eli?
Um, I'm not sure exactly what they were aiming for, but it was kind of funny.
And what would you have to say, Rob? Because I believe you played the tutorial as well.
I remember playing games like these and enjoying them a lot more when I was like 8 years old, which would have been like 1998.
Dating yourself
Playing,
there.
playing something like this here is kind of embarrassing. I'm ready to get to it.
Okay,
Oh, that's what we're all about, embarrassment. We've had our
I
good games, we've had our bad games. Granted, this is only the third show, but
I just had something really weird happen.
okay.
I was sitting on the play tab and I didn't tell it to actually start a race, and it dropped me into a race.
Wow. Well, I should also specify that this is an early access title, and if our initial playthrough is any indication, yeah, it's very early access. There's a lot of questionable English. Let's call it that.
Yep.
Questionable English.
And a fair
Uh,
amount of Russian text.
if you were wondering where this one came from, well, there you go. This is a game made with Unity. It proudly declares that upon launch, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's become an indicator flag for us that while there are some good games that are made with Unity, there are all too many not so good games made with Unity. Now, not to say this is not a good game. We haven't played it enough to really either condemn it or praise it. So I think what we'll initially go over is what the in-game the garage screen that you're seeing here looks like. It's a pretty basic look at what your current vehicle is. You've got your shop, which is probably how they aim to make money, because you've got your accessories. You could customize it. Of course, it costs out-of-game currency to do so. There are some items that cost just in-game currency. Capitalization could use some work. I mean, it's all over the Tune Kits. It's all in caps, while Engine is all in lower caps, and platform and engine swap are for the most part properly capitalized. Then you got things like aerodynamics and wheels, paint wraps, pretty much your standard customization for any vehicle. You've got your accessories, Ocula cams. I'm not sure what the hell that is. Horn, interior steering wheel. So there's, and then J shop. I have no idea what the hell that is. I'm wondering if it's some kind of placeholder because I cannot click on it.
Yep. Can't click on it either. Maybe you unlock it though. That's a
Yeah.
possibility.
And then you've got, your premiums where you can buy both of these currencies. So the currency that you earn and the currency you can only pay for, you can choose to pay real money for. Now, whether or not it's a reasonable deal, I don't know. I mean,
Well, from what I understand, you can earn both of them in the game. It's just
okay.
you get them for different stuff, which is weird.
Okay. That's a bit odd. And green, it seems to cost less of greens than it does for rupees. If anything, rupees is another indicator of where this was made. If I recall correctly, no, it's the ruble in Russia, I
Ruble.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, rupees is Zelda.
yeah. So maybe this developer or developers, I'm not sure how many people developed this particular title. Maybe they are Zelda fans. Then you've got your community tab. So you've got your friends, sponsors. So apparently you can get sponsored. Okay, you earn sponsorships, which does make sense. Top players doesn't seem to be clickable at the moment. And you have a community market, although it seems you can't buy it in the market until you hit level 12. And there appears to be trading. That's interesting. General tab. I like that label. They have events. And there is the Russian or Cyrillic, if you want to get real technical, that Eli was talking about to me just before the show started. And it looks like they plan on allowing you to form teams, but that does not appear to be clickable at the moment. I'm kind of forgiving of these things not being clickable, since this is an early access title. I expect things to not necessarily all be there. What I'm kind of judging is how the game plays and overall feel, as well as how well it plays, whether it's pretty broken, that kind of thing. Now, since we don't necessarily want to torture the rest of the people playing this game, it may be amusing. Hell, we may join in with the rest of the community, however many people are actually playing this particular title. But we're going to start off with the private race. That does seem to be fairly easy to do. Simply go to your friends, and you select private race. And looks like you can only have one person at a time join in. There does not seem to be an option to do multiple people. You've got a couple different race types: tandem, sprints, circles. And then you've got 3 tracks. So not a huge variety, but hey, at least it's some. I guess we'll start off with a sprint. Why not? And we'll go with a oh, they only have... Well, I guess you can't do a sprint. They have no track selection for it. So we'll do a circle. I wonder if I can invite Rob as well.
Hopefully.
No, it's not letting me. Yep, you can only race one person at a time. Well, there's a bit of a downer there. Now, I'm not huge on the racing scene, much less the drift racing scene, so I don't know if it's often that you have more than one person. Did you get a request, Eli?
No.
Well, that's interesting.
I think that might be broken.
Well, I shall try a standard tandem race then. Maybe the circle is broken. It's a broken circle!
Oh, wait, I got one.
I will start off by saying that the controls leave a bit to be desired.
And by a bit, he means a lot.
Yeah.
Like a ton.
Yeah. And when they call this High Octane Drift, they aren't kidding. You want to see some drifting? There shall be drifting galore.
Like that.
It takes very little to drift in this game.
A lot less than it should take.
Yeah. The fact that these cars still have tires to spin on is nothing short of a miracle. I probably look like I'm playing like crap, and maybe I am. I will also state that I'm actually not too terribly bad at racing games normally. However, normally I also usually have the option of using either a wheel or heck, even a joystick of some shape or form. Hell, I'll take the Xbox 360 controller. I played my fair share of Forza and a few other racing/sim games. I wouldn't call Forza a full-on simulator. It's still kind of arcadey, but the handling is a lot more realistic than this. Now, I understand that the goal of this game seems to be that they wanted to have people drift as much as possible, which is fine. But to have it so that the slightest thing causes you to drift.
Did you just get kicked out of the race?
No, you won. You finished before I did.
I did?
Yes. Now, I
Okay.
got a higher score. What that means, if anything, I don't know. I will find it amusing if I win, even though I came in second.
I'm just confused.
Oh, you're
Whoa,
not the
your car
only
just
one.
teleported around.
And Rob
so
will get his
slow.
chance.
Hell yeah, I will.
Nope. Keep doing. Nope. Stop it, car. Oh my god. It's like the instant it starts to turn, it just starts flailing around.
What's funny is these don't drift in reverse. I'm halfway tempted to drive around this track in reverse, just so that I don't drift as much.
Nope. I was not even turning at that point. Why did it start drifting?
I wasn't turning there either. It's like driving on black ice with bald tires.
And a really fast car.
Yes.
This is not fast.
No, it doesn't
Going
feel
like
fast.
20
That's
miles
the
an
other
hour.
thing. I mean, it says I'm going like 80 kilometers per hour.
You know.
That's more like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, but it doesn't even feel like that.
And there was no finish line. My screen just like it went mostly green and says waiting for other players. It doesn't say anything about me winning or what.
Yeah, well, it's because it was waiting for me to finish. So I had the higher score. Does that mean I win? I guess it does. So apparently position means absolutely nothing.
It means fuck all.
Yep. This is
It's
not
just
a
like
racing game. This is all about style. How much you drift. Now, I kind of like that on some aspects, but yeah, I got a delivery ticket, whatever that's for.
I got 1,000 yellow money.
Now, maybe this will be implemented in future iterations, or maybe in a future race mode, but perhaps where it takes into account where you finish along with your drift score. So that coming in first and doing some decent drifts, you're gonna, doesn't mean that just because somebody else does nothing but, the crazy drifts, which are easy as hell to do, doesn't simply outscore you.
What does mecto mean?
Mecto, I don't know. I have now apparently reached level 2.
Same here. And I am down 2 gas and 5 tires.
That's somewhat realistic because after something like that, you're gonna burn through tires. I'm down 14 tires. I don't know. I didn't see any pit crew, but okay, sure.
Wow. Seems kind of random.
I think it has something to do with how much you drift.
I would assume so. But
Yeah.
oh, I have 94 tires left.
Yeah, I have 85.
So even though I went down by 5, Now I'm at 94 when it started at 100. I think their math is a little off.
Yeah, just a tad. Now the real question is, where do I buy tires?
Shop at the top, I believe.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. But there
And
doesn't
then
seem...
on the right-hand side, you can click wheels.
Yeah, but it's not actually wheels. You've got rims, exclusive rims, diameter, and wheels width.
Oh.
There's no option to
Actually,
buy more tires. At least there.
Where did it go?
Maybe it's in the warehouse. Items.
Where did it go?
Packages. Don't have any packages.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where'd it go? I had it.
Yeah, there's definitely some Russian in here. Models.
Wait a minute. Okay, actually, just move your mouse to the bottom of the screen,
Uh-huh.
and on the right-hand side of the thing that pops up, there should be a wrench button at the top, and then on transmission, turbo, differential, and engine, you can just hover over it and click it to tell it to repair.
Oh, okay.
At least as far as those. And then the wheels, I guess you have to buy a certain number of wheels.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be an option to buy wheels. Well, at least until I run out of wheels. Hopefully I don't run out of that during the next race. I'll go ahead and do a race with Rob.
Well, if you click on the wheel button on the right of that repair interface, then there's you can buy junkyard flint tires or radical radial.
Ooh. Where's this at?
When you move your mouse to the bottom, it brings up the repair interface. There is a button on the right-hand side
Oh,
of that
okay.
that says wheels.
Okay, apparently. Okay, so... Radicals, junkyards, flint tires. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yup.
Yeah, I want to have flint spinning at high speed. That sounds like a really, wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the. I still have plenty of tires for right now. I'll just buy some later.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I shall race Rob this time around.
Let's do it.
We'll see if it lets me do anything other than. Yeah, not letting me do sprint. Did you get a request there, Rob?
Not yet.
So it seems to be that the only option is tandem, because even though it lets me send circle, it doesn't actually choose it. So you have one option for race types and 3 tracks. Not exactly a ton of diversity here.
Yeah, not a strong opener for a free-to-play.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's free to play. I'm kind of giving it all kinds of concessions, but it gets to a point where you go, maybe you should have waited just a little bit longer. Just maybe.
Maybe.
Can't wait for this. There we go.
Yeah, apparently it works just fine on tandem, but it will not work on circle. And I'm going to change the title because I meant to do that. Go ahead and beat me, Rob. I don't mind. Don't beat me with your car.
I can't help it. Alright, here we go. I'm trying to go straight. Alright.
See about that.
Ooh. I'm just trying to get some tappies out, but it's not working. Okay.
Well, there goes Rob.
It's not letting me select this game. On
Casino.
Really?
Yeah, it's not listed. So I'll just have to go with it in the title.
You get to go games and demos for the game.
Alright.
There we go.
Go with that. This is very... I gotta say, this is very close to the status of a demo. And a very light demo at that.
This is the dev demo, and I'm getting, I kid you not, I'm getting drift points for like spinning.
That's what I tend to be doing as well.
I gotta say, Project Gotham Racing made for a way better drifting game.
Yeah. And it's sad that the studio that produced that game went under. They went bye-bye. Yep. Back in 2012, if I recall correctly. Bizarre Creations. Not all their stuff was great, but they did produce some fun stuff. I did like the Project Gotham Racing series. And there was this other one that I have. I'll have to pull it up. I know I have it on Steam. That found to be a lot of fun. I'm just trying to recall the title of it. It was kind of like Mario Kart with real cars. Well, somewhat real. I'll have to pull it up, though.
Oh, waiting for other play. What?
That's
I think
because
you
you...
finished.
Yeah, you finished.
Yeah. Apparently, you're not supposed to try to finish.
Yeah, you're supposed to just be trying to drift as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
on
I
your
kind
way
of
there.
figured, yeah, whatever.
And Stylo got more than twice as many points.
Yeah, apparently I know how to drift. Which in this game amounts to pressing the arrow button just a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it began with a B. I'm looking that game up right now. Blur! That's it. It wasn't the last title that they produced. There was one other game after that. But Blur, I think it might still be available on Steam. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's possible to still do multiplayer on it. It actually has, if you're into the whole LAN party scene, which I am. I'm actually going to a LAN fest that Intel is sponsoring here at the end of the month. The Colorado LAN Fest. But it actually has a LAN mode, which was kind of surprising because while it's not a super recent release, this game was released back in 2012, I think, or sometime slightly earlier. Not many games had a LAN mode anymore. So
I feel like I'm watching old people on their hover rounds.
Ha! Messed that up for you. How am I not drifting? Hitting the E-brake, doing some drifty drift. Oh.
There's not much in the way, if any, damage modeling in this game.
No, none.
Zip.
You guys should do Destruction Derby.
We'd be here all day. Because neither
No,
car would take any damage. And we'd
saying,
probably miss each other more often than not.
Oh, our car's fused for a second there.
Yeah, there's some real hit detection for you folks.
That was great, though.
In the real world, around now, I would have at least one flat tire. Minimum.
Yeah.
I would also have a severely damaged vehicle.
And
I like how you
Jetbird.
just went into that extended donut though.
Oh yeah. The damaged model is very real. And by very real, I mean very really non-existent. It likes doing pretty sparks though, along with lots of smoke. I can only imagine what the Flint tires look like. I might actually pick those up just for giggles.
No. Oh,
It only takes a very slight tap to drift like crazy.
It doesn't let you like drift into reverse, you know, like do a 180.
Oh, you can do it if you time it right. Lots of camera bloom.
Yep. Seems like they were pretty heavily focused on what they thought.
Yeah, this
would be
is-
special effects.
Yeah, they're trying to make it look pretty, although the car models are nothing to write home about.
No, it's like I'm driving a fucking Honda Civic.
Yeah,
Now, mind you, good car, not very exciting to drive in a video.
no. It very much sounds like a Honda Civic too.
Yep.
Apparently there is some kind of time limit, or Rob has crossed his finish line.
No,
Probably
I haven't.
across it. Oh, you have?
Apparently there is a finite amount of time it will let you drift around like a madman.
All right.
Time out. Returning to garage. Yeah.
Well, the controls are iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no hit detection. No.
And apparently, if you don't cross the finish line before the time runs out, you get no points for the race.
Yeah, you just get nothing, which is.
You
kind
get
of
nothing.
dumb.
You also get no fuel deducted, and you get no wheels deducted. So I
Well, that's
suppose if
alright.
you just want to practice without any penalties, that's, I guess, okay?
Mm-hmm. But they'll be getting rid of that soon. There's no
Yeah.
way
Yeah, they're
they
not.
can keep that up for too long.
No, they're just not. That's wow. I'm going to switch to Flint tires because that might be potentially amusing.
Get prepared, Eli. Flint tires.
Okay.
One of two things is going to happen here.
Squirrel Rebellion?
No, the Goblin Army is going to approach from the east.
While the pirate army approaches from the west?
Yeah, probably, or both. Because wow, either it's not an actual namesake, or we're gonna see a lot of sparks. We'll see. This should be interesting. I'll switch to Eli this time around. And do the one race option that we have.
Time to watch out, boys. We're gonna tear this town apart on our rascals.
Listen to that engine roar.
Indeed.
Meow. Well, I'm already disappointed. I'm not getting a massive amount of sparks when I attempt to drift. I don't know. I found it amusing for the first short bit, but there's just so much about this game that needs so much work.
Indeed.
I can even see, I mean, apparently it just doesn't want to leave. You can see the skid marks that you make don't stay for very long before the game engine erases them.
Oh yeah, it can't handle retaining textures for that long.
Apparently not. This engine sound is just so generic for your typical race mobile. Now, I will say that I'm very glad that I don't actually hear this kind of sound too terribly often. Because while there are, of course, racers in my area, like there are just about everywhere in the country, there are actually a fair number of people that actually have decent muscle cars as well. So I do get to hear the nice rumble more often than not. Along with some nice exotics, so. And when I say exotics, I should maybe specify just how exotic I'm talking. It is not unusual in my area to come across multiple Ferrari Stradales, your Murcielagos, I'm probably mispronouncing it, along with cars from the likes of McLaren and various other high-end, various high-end manufacturers, many of which have dealerships in the area, so yeah. Now, on the previous games that we played so far, I could see some promise in replaying them. Last week's game, Prison Dungeon. Oh, Eli's apparently finished. But, well, oh no, he didn't outscore me. But we had some fun with that one. I think that one actually has some promise. The very first one, and I'm still working on the video for it, unfortunately. But the first one we did, I'm trying to remember the name of that one. Why can't I remember? It was an MMO, and I actually did play it again. But I can't.
WildStar was the first.
WildStar, that's it. That's actually a fairly fun game. I mean, it's somewhat generic in some aspects, but this game is going to need a lot of work. And I do mean a lot of work before, even as a free-to-play. My time means money. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's hard to play, but the simple fact that it doesn't even have customizable keyboard controls. Much less the fact that you can't use a controller with it. Simple fact that you're restricted to the arrow keys. That kind of sucks. The graphics are really nothing to write home about. I mean, they're not terrible. I mean, it's not like it looks super bad, but it's just so bland.
Yes. Looks like Midnight Club.
Yeah. The engine sounds that we've heard so far. Oh God. I'm almost certain that most of the cars in this game, because it is a drift game, are going to sound similar to this. Yep. Simply because a lot of them are going to be import vehicles. I have nothing against imports. Nothing at all. But, oh, there's a terrific damage modeling again. But, I mean, it's got one game mode, 3 tracks that really don't look terribly great. I mean, there's the dope casino. Now,
that's just great.
Yeah. there's a few different ways to take that one.
Just
The-
go to the heroin casino.
Yeah, I mean, just so much is wrong. That the other thing that you can only play with one other person. You can't have, for whatever reason, it only lets you. Now I don't know about the general community lobby. I haven't played that yet. But the simple fact that you can only play with one of your friends and not have a group play, that sucks. That really does.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
Marcus
just,
Auto.
like, it kind of draws away immediately that it's only 2-player, and then it's 2-player with no computers.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
A lot of it. I hate to say it, but yeah.
You know what really confuses me right now? The
What?
total scores thing said 69,000 for me. Then
Uh-huh.
it said 50,000. Then it went to 72,000. Now it says 52,000.
Yeah, math does not seem to be this developer's strong point. I can forgive missing some of the translation. I mean, that's not too huge of a deal. But when you're a computer programmer, you're supposed to be reasonably decent at math, somewhat.
You're not even the one doing the math. The computer's doing the math.
Yeah. Oh,
They
Eli
got
beat me this
52,000
time.
points that time.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, it figures that Eli beat me. I mean, I have to trust it.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm writing down on a little scratch pad how much I'm getting per each drift, although I'm halfway tempted to see whether the numbers would actually add up if I actually took the time to do that.
Yeah, and like with only getting like 1,000 or two per drift, how do you get into the 70,000s?
Yeah, that's... yeah.
And that's for a good drift.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit level 3 now.
I'm like speechless with this game. It's so bad.
Well, I almost wish I had put this on last week's show. Because, boy, we would have had fun with this one on Friday, just judging from the trailer. And the trailer would have been right. Oh, my God.
Yep.
Yes. This is just like, wow. I like how when you're in the garage too, they added the active cam,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, why? Why is it zooming in on this grill that looks so vanilla? Why?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yep.
Where are the tools?
Yep.
And also the fact that the way the camera is moving around is like they really want to show off how awesome their 3D model is. And it's like, this looks like it was made like 15 years ago.
I will say this much. I mean, the car models, at least they look different from vehicle to vehicle. But the detail level, yeah. It's... Hey, look at this Mercedes. I mean, because you could tell just from the distinct grille. Who would actually ever drift in a vehicle like that? Seriously. I mean, they even named it an E190. Now, something tells me I'm gonna just look, just for the sake of looking. What does a Mercedes-Benz? Because I can't recall off the top of my head what each one looks like, but it definitely looks like a Benz.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right, image search time on Google. That it kind of depends upon the model year, but there's one that's a dead ringer. There's one that's a dead ringer, an E1, a 190 Evo. It's a dead ringer. Here, I'll just link this in the chat. This is a dead ringer for the E190 you see on my screen right now. Now, will they get sued by Mercedes-Benz? I doubt it. I doubt Mercedes-Benz would even notice this particular game because...
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they didn't, use the name, but the model is the exact same one.
I like how on the Mustang though they actually put Mustang.
Yeah, and that's a licensed trademark. That if Ford hears about it and they decide, we don't like this game, and I'll be honest, I'll say I can't really blame them.
Oh, and they use Camaro too.
Yeah, the GTR 35. These are all actual vehicles. They're using the model names and trying to get away with it. The problem
There's
with
some funky physics going on though. Like when you select each car, it starts off like floating up high and slowly sinks down.
Yep.
Some of them slower than others.
Yep. There's so many of these. So many. I mean, I can spot all of these. The Evo 9. That is a Lancer Evo 9 right there. So essentially what they've done, because I'm sure they didn't pay to license these vehicles, because it's not cheap to do so. I'm not sure how much it costs, because granted, I haven't looked into it, but it's typically something only larger AAA titles tend to do, because they can shell out, like Forza, Gran Turismo, your larger AAA titles.
Yep.
They can shell out for the licensing. Heck, sometimes it's usually a positive for most of these cars to be portrayed in a video game, a good video game, mind you. I should be more specific. It's a positive for those, so usually I would imagine that the licensing costs aren't too terribly high. I doubt
Camaro.
Yeah, I doubt they would do it for free, but still, it's something where, the studio won't be too terribly hurt for paying for that license. But they have taken real vehicles, because I kid you not, each and every one of these, you look it up. Granted, these are not the most detailed models by a long shot, but they are dead ringers, absolute dead ringers for actual vehicles. I will now take bets on how long you guys think it will be before a major automotive manufacturer notices that their vehicle is in this game without the licensing fee being paid for and decides to do something about it.
Now, I would like to point out that on the stock list of cars, the X7 and X8 are Mazda RX-7 and RX-8. The Supra 4 is a Nissan Supra. The SLS...
Well, you mean Toyota, because Toyota makes...
Toyota, sorry. Yeah, not Nissan. Toyota. The SLS is another Mercedes. The Sky is a Nissan Skyline. I don't know what the SC300 one is. Mustang is obvious. GTR 35 is obvious. E46 is a BMW. E30 is a BMW. You already did the E190. I don't remember exactly what the Tour 5 is, but that's obvious. Camaro is obvious.
Yep.
C64 is a Mercedes.
Yep.
BRZ, I'm not sure that one.
It might be, it looks reminiscent of a Nissan vehicle. Somewhat.
Yeah, it does. But I think it's what is it? What's the Toyota luxury line again?
Lexus. Oh, Lexus. Yeah, it might. Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah. I wonder.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's take a look. Lexus BRZ. Images. I wouldn't quite call it a dead ringer, but it's pretty close. Like, here is a
And the P911 is a Porsche 911.
yeah. There you go.
They wanted to get as close as they possibly could, so they had to put P911. 330Z is a Nissan. Actually,
There
looks like
there
there's a bunch
is
of
your
Nissans.
I just linked the Lexus.
Yep.
That's your
Yeah.
BRZ.
Why is the steering wheel on top of the dashboard?
I can only take so much of this particular game. I'm going to get us out pretty much close to, if not on the hour. We are going to, because we've been playing, I don't know how we managed to play 45 minutes of this game and not just outright quit. Probably because we haven't actively been playing it all that long, just having a bit of a bitch session. And then we noticed that the vehicles are basically ripped off actual vehicles, where I'm 100% certain they did not pay the licensing fees for these.
Yep.
They did not. I mean, I don't mind that if you're somewhat close to another vehicle, that can happen. I mean, there's some vehicles that are out there that are just so bland, so generic, you can't help but look a little bit like them. But to have so many that are dead ringers and then use copyrighted names, because Mustang and Camaro are both copyrighted. I don't know about these other model numbers. They may or may not be copyrighted. But I guarantee you 100% that both Mustang is copyrighted by Ford and Camaro is Chevrolet. They are both copyrighted. And if either one of those companies hear about this particular game, and if somebody's unfortunate enough to play this game and then go, we really don't want our name attached to this whatsoever, I would not be surprised in the least to see this.
Send them a note.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in the least to see the. I don't know about having the game pulled, but those models would be gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a competition, such as it is. We're gonna have one last race between each of us. We're gonna do it elimination style. The only downside is there's no way to spectate, so maybe that won't work because that would require me to win, and that's kind of dull. And we can't have more than one person playing. Well, crap.
Issues with this damn game.
Yeah. Yeah. I would halfway be tempted to turn it into a drinking game, but every single one that I could think of would end up with me on the floor in short order, no matter what I was drinking. And I have a high tolerance like Eli. I'm pretty sure, Eli, if I came up with a drinking game involving this game, I could, at the bare minimum, get you pretty tipsy.
Possibly.
Yeah. So, we're going to play 2 more games, quote unquote. Gonna race Eli one more time and then Rob one more time. Because,
Cool.
in all honesty, it's all I can stand. It really is. I'm gonna see. I think we played Vegas. I don't know if previously I had been selecting random, but I'm going to make sure we see the other 2 quote unquote tracks as they were. So I'm going to race Eli on the Sunny Valley track. Oh, joy.
Oh, joy.
And I really shouldn't call it racing, because you're not racing. You're simply drifting like crazy. It doesn't matter if you come in first or not at all.
Oh, look, they got the mountains in the background and stuff.
Go.
And it looks like Eli's mist or smoke or whatever is kind of pink.
That would be because I switched to the extreme tires.
So apparently, extreme tires give you pink mist, while Flint tires do nothing extra. I'm very disappointed in this. Eli at least gets slightly different looking smoke. I was expecting with a name like Flint Tires to get mad sparks, yo. But no! What do I get? I get generic as fuck smoke. Yeah. Not even more smoke, just generic. Listen to those tires squeal. Oh, that dirt effect when you go off course a little bit. Wow.
Yep.
I'm in the bonus zone because I'm close to Eli.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently you get a higher score. You get a multiplier if you're close to somebody else while drifting. That was not a good drift. Unacceptable. Should have done better than that. This is going to be the first game. I'm sure I'll encounter more as I do the stream. But this is going to be the first game that I simply cannot recommend, even at free. Because people's time is worth money. This is just... I'll be surprised if this game makes it out of early access. For a couple reasons. One, I'll say this much. So far, we haven't experienced any performance issues. That much I'll give to it.
I hope not.
That much I'll give to it. But there's just so much missing, so much wrong, that even at the price of free, I can't recommend it. I just can't. There's too many other good games out there that are free that are a better use of your time.
Well, I hope you're doing really well on your score this time, because my score was just like multiplying the whole time for some reason.
Oh, it's because I was near you. And apparently you did a lot better than me, because you're almost double my score. Mad drifting skills by Eli. Yeah. Listen to those engines roar, man.
Yep. Sounds like they were recorded with a really crappy mic, too.
Yeah. I mean, they even used... they ripped off car models. Why not rip off some decent engine sounds? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I see what was happening before when my score was raising and lowering.
Uh-huh.
So when it would drop down, it was dropping down to what my score was for that lap.
Oh.
Rise back up again. It was rising back up to the total for the race.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that kind of makes sense. Just wow. God. Oh. I'm gonna have to warn Caitlin not to play this game unless she just wants unadulterated torture. If I was mean, I wouldn't tell her. I would just tell her to play it. But she's too nice of a person to inflict this on. Oh, man. I beta tested games that were better than this. Wow.
Oh, you got more points than me that time.
Yeah. I don't think it makes it up for the total score. Yeah, you still beat me. Hooray for you.
Huzzah.
Oh, God. Oh. Rob, would you forgive me if I didn't race you?
No, I would not. Yes, of course I would. This is awful.
Oh, my God. Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's a lucky car never playing this game again. Oh, delivery ticket. Would it deliver me out of this game? Oh, God.
I almost kind of wish it had been a paid game so that I could do the refund on it that would actually cost the developer money.
Oh, man. Okay. I think we bitched about this game enough. I'm not going to ask for final thoughts because I'm pretty sure we all think this game is not worth your time, is
Nope.
not worth installing. I'm
Nope.
going to promptly uninstall this game
Me too.
because it is not worth my time at all, not even remotely. So on a happier note, I'm gonna let you guys talk about your shows where you play hopefully non-shitty games. Eli?
Oh, I pride myself on playing some non-shitty games.
Yeah, me too.
I do the game show on Thursday nights where we play party games against the audience. We aim for stuff that's fun for everybody to join in and easy to get into. And if you win a game against us, as long as you're not one of our own people, you get a free game key out of it. So it's always a good idea to come in and join us to play the games, have some fun, get free shit out of it. I also do a late night thing on random nights when I have the energy for it, at random times when things are cleared up enough that I can do it. And I call that After Dark. Most of the time I've been playing the Long Dark because I can't seem to die in that game to finish playing.
And Rob, what about your shows? And heck, why don't you even plug Jody's show as well?
I play Retro Haven. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I play Retro Haven 3 times a week. That is the all console and retro gaming show. Excuse me, I don't know why. I just had a brain fart on that last one. Then Jody had
Build
Jody's
up
World.
anticipation.
There was. I was holding it. I was making it juicy and dangling it in front of the crowd. But either way, Jody's World consists of a few games. She mainly plays Stardew Valley and FTL, but she, in the spirit of Halloween being apparently the entire month of October, she wanted to play Dead Space tonight, and I love that game too, so I was like, yeah, I'll watch her play that. She had never played it before. Anybody that was watching, she got freaked out at some parts. It was awesome.
And I'm sure we'll have that uploaded to YouTube, and we do make our shows available on Twitch through the previously broadcasted shows, so I'm sure that's available probably right now to watch on Twitch. We also have our weekly show where on Tuesdays where we cover upcoming titles. Some are good, some are not so good. I almost wish that I had put this game in this show because it would have been hilarious to rip it to shreds. That being said, currently this is the only show that I do. I may at some point participate in Retro Haven. I just haven't gotten around to doing it, even though I have all the facilities to do some Super Nintendo as well as PlayStation 2. So
Nice.
I'll probably start with PlayStation 2, probably some Kingdom Hearts. I'm just not quite sure what day that will be. Heck, maybe it'll be the weekend. We shall see since, yeah. But that's going to conclude tonight's show. Next week we shall do another free-to-play game. I hope for my own sanity that it is not as bad as this game. Because, oh my
This was
god.
pretty bad.
I did not intend to inflict this kind of crap upon myself, but I can only blame for myself for picking this game. So until
basically-
I already uninstalled it.
I don't
Watch cars drive in a circle
I
for
don't
like an hour and 10 minutes.
I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you in the slightest, because as soon as this broadcast is over, I'm doing the exact same thing. So until next time, folks, I'll see you next Friday. Same time, same place. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
See you.